looked really good. And what annoys me about the official Spyderco group is no one was helpful in the comments. This guy was just like, hey, I just got this knife and it's fucked up. I chipped the tip off of it. What do I do? And so everyone's like, just sharpen it. I'm like, that's what I would do. But this is just a guy who just got his first knife. I don't think he knows how to sharpen it.
There's a guy on YouTube that'll put on it through a patio paver and then some chicken wire. You should send it to him. He probably knows what to do.
It was just unhelpful. I saw that it was in the official group. This is what makes me sad about the official group is it should be very helpful, but it's not.
It's not. It's among the worst groups. They're not helpful. It's a bunch of sore assholes talking about their favorite, Delica that they bought back in '04.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing's gone downhill since Nick Lugley stopped posting in his orange Pingo every day.
Right. Where's Nick Lugley?
I think someone finally responded to that. I don't know. He had some life things. I don't know what they were. But it's gone. Ever since then, now it's just rude people. And it is interesting to read through the comments in those groups because obviously there's a lot of members that are members of our group also. But the general level of knowledge and passion and it's just totally different.
I'm so thankful to all of you watching today that are collaborative and helpful and don't shit on new kids that just joined this hobby and don't know what they're talking about, that you help. And I'm sad that I have to be excited about that it's not just a normal way of being, but it's not common. There's so many knife groups where people are just terrible to each other, and it's awful. I don't like it.
This is, well, as I understand now because I've been so focused on Facebook. Like what I saw of Facebook for the last 7 years has just been knives. So all I see on Facebook is knives. But I'm in other groups too, and sometimes when my algorithm catches that tone and starts showing me a bunch of like RC cars or fragrances or car audio or whatever it is group, it's a good sign. If I don't have to click on someone's profile photo, I don't click on your guys' profile photos in the group that often. Other groups, I'm like, these guys are fucking weird. I want to see what this person's profile looks like. How does this person exist?
I got to understand.
Yeah, I got to know.
Sometimes, some dude will come at you hard and you go into his profile and it's like, did your wife know that you posted that? Do you think she'd let you do that? Like, you guys were just in temple with your 5 children and now you're telling me off. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
Or worse, like, you'll get told off and then you go to the profile and it's some messed up, like, I don't know, concert photo of the Black Eyed Peas or something. You're like, who is this guy?
He's Fergie.
Right. Leatherman Reddit is not pleasant. Oh, I bet. Talk about the use your shit, bro.
Oh, pile. You don't pinch shit with your shit? I pinch shit all over the place.
Yep. DSKFS. I don't know what that is, David Jewell.
I don't know either. Is that use your shit? Is that another acronym for use your shit, bro?
Don't stop cutting for sakes. No. I'm not sure.
There was, I've seen this a bunch of times now, so it must have been fairly recent on Wheel of Fortune. Someone guessed right in the butt as the answer.
I saw that.
The reaction was great. No, it's not right in the butt.
Also, it's a 4-letter word, sir. Right is not 4-letter word.
And there's 2 T's in butt and only 1 T is
right. People who annoy me. 7 letters. That's a South Park reference, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a new South Park that's only on Paramount streaming right now that I really want to watch. It's Cartman goes on Ozempic, so I really want to see it. But I'm not getting Paramount just to watch South Park. one streaming special a year.
I feel so manipulated by the world at times, and I hate it. I hate it. When you find out, like, the companies that make the vaccines also sell masks, and you're like, what? You feel manipulated. Or when you find out that, what is it? Bill Gates owns all the potato plantations that make all the potatoes for all the fries that go to McDonald's. You go, what? and then and then when you find out that all the streaming networks who are losing money are now planning on collaborating and combining into a system that they run through a wire into your house so that you can have all the streaming networks in one place, and they call it cable.
Yeah.
Like, I thought we gave up on that concept, but no.
Yeah, I don't know. I draw the line at Paramount. I mean, I have full Xfinity cable, like every channel I could want to watch. But I also have all the streaming services except for Paramount because it was a bad experience last time I went on. I couldn't find shit. That's the one I refused to go. But I have all the other ones. I don't even care. I watch so much damn TV. I'm home all day. It's worth it.
I'll get one until I feel like I've seen it all, and then I'll get rid of it, and I'll get a different one, and then I'll get rid of it. I'm not going to pay for them all forever because it's just, you don't even realize it how much you can spend on it all.
It's also crazy that I don't watch a lot of new stuff, but whenever I open up something, I'm like, how do I already seen all the things that I want to see when I don't want to see very many things? I don't know. Like Hulu, I've seen every show on Hulu, but I go back hoping something's gonna just like, I'll watch New Girl again. That sounds fun.
Watching New Girl is a good idea, but overall with Hulu, it's like, hold on, I have no interest in anything NBC, and now you have a streaming channel where I can watch all your shit. Like, I don't want, no, thank you. Not interested. Peacock. Well, it was Hulu, then it became Peacock.
Yeah.
Now it's,
well, there's Hulu and there's Peacock. Yeah, separate.
Peacock.
Yeah.
What is up, Jonathan Jetton? Guys, we don't have a ton of knife content today, I'm afraid. Tom's got some knives to show off. We got Blade Show coming up. Frankly, I wish I had sold some shit before now, but I've got some knives that I'm trying to move so that I can have money for Blade Show. And then also, this guy came out of the woodwork with this really rare, really cool knife that I want for less money than it should be. So I'm like,
the one you showed me, that crazy
yeah,
one?
isn't that cool? I would never carry it. I would never carry it, but it's like, I want to hold it for a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got that. Greg Bartram's here. Hey, guy. Mrs. Mailman apparently is a huge fan of the show, Tom.
Ooh.
Outer Range is very strange. I watched the whole thing, and I don't think I ever loved it, Brian, but it was watchable. It was watchable. The season ended kind of on a cliffhanger. If I were you guys, I would limit knife shows to 0 or 1, maybe just ours. But man, the knife content on YouTube is just disappointing. It was a topic in the group this week.
There is YouTube, but there's also like, I get kind of tired being asked every time someone finds out that I like knives, like, you must watch Forged in Fire. And I'm like, literally never have watched that show.
If you know anything about knives, you know Forged in Fire is not about knives. Right. But I'm tired of this. Like, this is the clip where it'll show a knife and the guy's going, right? And then the caption will say, like, will it cut? Or it'll say, did this knife kill my mom? And then you click on the video, and it's not about that.
The YouTube little screen, the thumbnails?
Yes.
Yes. Is this the best knife ever? No, it's not. It turned out it wasn't.
Is this the greatest knife of all time? No. So that's the clickbait aspect of it is really rough. The fact that almost everything gets demonetized anymore makes it hard. So I do sympathize with these guys that are trying to make money through it. The other thing is like, if you want to have content, then you need to have things to show off, right? And you got to have knives that you can talk about. Otherwise, you don't have anything to talk about. So you either have to buy them and sell them to have content, or people have to loan you things, and that gets expensive. And we've seen a lot of people come and go from this who got overwhelmed by that, right? So
Not
one
to be
knife reviewer in
discouraging, but
particular.
there's a lot of knife channels that just kind of, oh, I reviewed my whole collection. Now what do I do?
The other thing I think that I don't appreciate is the amount of content for $87 knives is ridiculous. Like there's all these guys that are pouring over every Civivi issue. And obviously it matters because people watch it because it gets clicks, but I just can't pretend to care enough to talk about every Civivi. And they're fine. They're good knives, but I don't want to talk about all of them, and I don't have a favorite, and I'm not going to fight them against each other like they're Lego characters and go and see which
It's
one
like
wins.
I don't know him, but I have watched some of his content. I'd see it frequently. He's very popular. Is Jared Neves or Neves or however you say his, or Gerard. But like I do look at his
Jared Neves.
Jared Neves. His content is very popular, but it's everything I've seen is it's under $100 knives that are. He goes through like 6 of them in a show, or whatever, and it shows them off. There's a ton of people that want that, and that's great. But when I go and I want to say like, I really want to see a Holt Spectre review or something like that, besides Shabazz, I don't think there's a ton.
Well, that's the thing. I think that if you were to talk to those guys, they would tell you, like, I'm not personally interested in the new Civivi or the new Wii, but
Yeah,
it gets me clicks and people buy them. And I'm not disputing that. And there's nothing wrong with buying them. I'm not criticizing anyone for buying a knife that they like that's in the price point they want. I'm just saying for me personally, I can't get excited about it. And I think these people pretend to get excited about it so they can talk about something that they know will get them clicks so that they can try to make money when it isn't demonetized. So the whole system just provides us with content that it's it's not good content because the people making it aren't passionate, but they're kind of compelled to do it. And then for me, I don't find it to be resonant. So here Tom and I are talking about food, farts, and occasionally knives, right? So
yeah.
we're kind of hitting the mark sometimes, but frankly, we're not trying to sell you anything either. We're just talking knives, talking
Maybe it's
shit.
just me being jaded, but at this point, it's like I am way more interested to hear about your TV show selection than you are about what you did to your PM2 this week. Honestly,
Arguing with the viewers about best hamburger and how it's not, in and out. Um, that's more fun. That's more fun than hearing about the newest, what is it, 14 CR28 or something like that, Chinese made steel. I'm supposed to get excited about. Oh, and
the
shitting on super steels. That's a thing. I don't like high performing steels, or at least I think my audience doesn't. So I'm going to make fun of them. I don't understand.
it's not even you can't even sharpen it. Yeah, you can. It's not that bad. Uh, Blake had a
That's
good
something
point.
that I wish I had known years ago. Like I remember having lots of conversations about certain steels being harder to sharpen than others. And frankly, that was mostly just lack of experience combined with with poor equipment. It's not really that different. Like when it comes down to it, the hardness of the steel and the alloy content have a little bit to do with it. But if you have good stones, then you can sharpen it.
If you consider time spent to be the measure of difficulty to sharpen something, S45 VN is by far the hardest steel for me to sharpen. And that's not common belief by any means. But for me, I spend way more time sharpening an S45 PM2 than I do like M390 or Maxmit or anything else. It's just good stones will cut anything. So you
I
shouldn't.
forget who it was, but somebody was talking about M390 recently. It might have been Laren Thomas talking about how the reason it's become such a popular knife steel for everybody, including Chinese manufacturers, is the fact that it's actually easy to manufacture with because it has low vanadium. There's very little vanadium in it, and vanadium is the one you want, right? It has a measurable amount, but not a lot, and that makes it easy to mill and easy to polish and easy to finish. So, it what everybody perceives as the elite knife steel, some of it's marketing, you know. Yeah, poor Blake. Pour one out for the truck that ran it over. I deleted that and I threw that guy out, by the way, because he had been in the group for 9 months and that was the only post he'd ever had. He had not had a single comment ever, but he ran over a knife with his truck and it broke and he wanted to know how to get it fixed and whether or not Spydercos in general are a problem. And
It was TrueAir, right? And that was his complaint. Is I thought TrueAir was tough.
And then the crazy part is everybody in the comments was like, actually, and everybody started like just like reading steel data to this guy, which I'm kind of proud of. Like, I'm glad we go to data rather than just wonder. But it's like this guy's trolling everybody. He's not
good.
He's just trying to watch the world burn.
I have had that strike me as like remembering in the middle of getting frustrated reading posts lately going, oh, I don't have to let this stay up anymore if I don't want to let it just fester and become a bad thing in the group.
I think there's a difference between Dan Tan posting a comedic post to rile everybody up where he pretends to own 40 Caparas. Like, that's just kind of funny versus somebody that, you know, in a mean-spirited way tries to rile everybody up. So yeah, I don't want to put up with it. Jim Garrett says he has more trouble with 20 CV than he does Maximate. That's interesting. I need to sharpen more Maximate. When it came out, I sharpened a lot of it, and I found it to be hard to sharpen. But I think what we're learning over time is that original batch of Maximate was less than good, and that the follow-up stuff has been better.
All my 2017 Maximate sucks to sharpen.
I need to try a new one.
So that was original back in the day batch. But it was on all my models. I'd have problems with it, or it wouldn't get sharp. Even if I'd sharpen it, it just wasn't sharp. Or like you had that one of mine that the edge would just flake off into.
I gave it away.
Yeah.
Quantavius is watching. What's up, Quantavius? He's certainly trouble. What do you got in your desk? You said you had something cool in.
I got two things to sharp. I got 3 knives to sharpen. The first one I'm going to do on video next is a bluey, which I like sharpening these. These are, you guys have seen these. These were really popular a couple weeks ago. Everyone wanted them, and then everyone wanted Spy Mitos, and they forgot about these.
Have you noticed they get janky towards the heel? There's something about the way they belt sharpen those. They get a little janky. So when you are the one to get one, you have to kind of clean it up. What I find is that they're good along the tip and the belly, but when you get to the heel, they get wonky.
I just had Brad's. Brad's was the only one that I've seen like that, but I haven't done a ton of them. I've only done like 3 or 4 probably. But these are fun. This one's getting a mirror because of course it is. Why not? But something I don't see a lot that's next up to sharpen is a Koenig Mini Arius. So
nope,
I
that's
have
not a Mini Arius, Tom.
Not a Mini Arius, a Mini Goblin. Jeez.
Mini Goblin.
These I haven't got a lot of extensive time to play with. I'm excited to actually get a knife in that is something that I've wanted to handle and just be able to sit around and fidget with for a second. It's got great action. It's a flipper. It's small. It only goes to there in your hand, so my hands fit it okay, but Jason probably is a little lacking on the grip.
Yeah, it's definitely small in the hand for me.
It's the one thing I like about the Para 3 is how my hand is positioned to cut. This one is kind of forces your hand to sit this way. Oh, thumbs up, holla. But so you're kind of forced into this cutting position.
Don't tell me this doesn't look like a thumbs up.
No, it doesn't. Can't even tell. AI is thinking no way.
Yep.
But it's a fun little fidgety knife. It's Warncliffe blade. One reason I've always avoided getting Warncliffes, and it's an overblown fear of mine, is if I chip a tip on any other kind of blade, I can pretty easily blend it in. I've always been afraid of this knife, getting one of these and then having an issue, even though I've never broke a tip. But it's still something that rattles around my head. It's like, what if I did something stupid and broke this tip off? It's a very pointy little tip. Great flipper action, though. It's a Koenig. It's smooth. It's designed by Edison Barajas of Shark Nivco. So yeah, pretty cool
It's a
knife.
pretty faithful reproduction of the shark knife version too.
It is. It's the ones I've handled are Josh Haygood's, and I think he said one of them was better than the other, but they feel less finished than this does because this is just, I don't know, it's simpler.
Yeah.
It's not a handmade custom knife.
Right.
But it's really cool. I'm happy to get to sharpen this thing. I'm gonna put a mirror on it. It'll look cool. I'll do it on YouTube. Otherwise, it's been kind of slow. I kind of need some more work. So if you guys need knife sharpen, I need some work because I only have a few left to do. Like that's about it. But I'm going on vacation, so I don't need it like right now. But I will when I get back. So semi knives.
I'll give everybody an update on one that I bought about a month ago, and that is the Steingraber Lamia version 4. So this knife has been in my pocket a lot for the last month, and I love it. I didn't think I would love it. I bought it to try it with an open mind, well, almost a skeptical mind, and I thought I would probably sell this thing. But when I got it, I fell in love with it, and it hasn't faded. So I got a couple friends in the comments there that are all over me, like, "Hey man, when you get sick of it, sell it to me." And the reality is I don't think I'm going to.
Nice.
The nature pattern, he calls it, is phenomenal. The grip in this direction is terrific because of the grooves in it.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize like how much I like a grip in this direction, but also it has a diagonal milling pattern also in addition to that. And the diagonal, according to a knife making friend of mine that I will not out, he thought that was just lazy. he goes, bro, what he did was he used the diagonals to profile, and then he put the nature on top of it to kind of hide it, but he didn't tumble it first to get rid of the diagonals, and it's lazy. And I said, well, maybe, but the grip is particularly good on this knife. So no jimping, but the grip on the handle is pretty amazing.
There's a difference between being lazy or being innovative and creative with how your time is spent on the CNC, right?
I shouldn't characterize it as lazy. That's my term, not his. He didn't say lazy, but he felt like it was a shortcut, if I could summarize what he said. Maybe. However, the price of this is not $1,100, and it would have been if he had to do that. Now it's cheaper. So if there's anything I had a beef about on this knife, it's the fact that the handle is fancier than the blade. The blade's just a stone washed. It's a stone washed crew wear, or sorry,
Yeah.
LMAX. And it would be cooler if it was something. So this might go to our friend Walter for a spa day. That would be interesting.
That'd be relatively easy blade to do, right? It's flat. Or wait, there are CNC lines or not?
It does have CNC lines. So my concern would be that you might rub through some of them, but not all of them, and end up with a clean spot. So that's an issue. But honestly, I would say if you're not sure yet, or if you think that you might not love it, I'd encourage you to try it. So I'll definitely have this with me, a blade. And yeah, pretty cool. I saw some at Maker Syndicate last year, and I feel like this is really substantially better.
Nice.
So really legit. I'm pretty impressed with that guy.
There's some secret milling on the inside, right? Some secret sexy
he puts
milling.
little Easter eggs inside the knives that you don't know until you open it. And this one has boobies. I think they're called, boobies. Yes. I asked him if it was Mrs. Steingraber, and he said no.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Steingraber is very opinionated. The sun rises in the east, the sky is blue, and Steingraber has opinions. There's no question. Yes. He also is not afraid to pick a fight. Well, that's not fair. He's not afraid to finish a fight. A couple people have come at him, and he's definitely taking them on. So Gilman's got a couple, loves them, wants some LMAX. Yeah, I think he's going to be at Maker Syndicate. Stop telling people to buy Lamias. Okay. The last drop sold out in 10 seconds. 80 knives. Yeah, be faster, bro.
So it's keeper. You're not going to sell that one for Blade Show money. That
I
was a
don't think I'm
keeper.
going to keep it. And I got a bunch of dudes up my ass about it. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey man. I asked Alex if he could crown the spine. I thought this needed something. I was like, crown spine would be money, and he goes, challenge accepted.
Oh wow.
So he said he's already been working on it. Probably shouldn't say that out loud, but that'd be sweet.
Coming up with Blade Show, there is a couple knives that have sparked my interest I've seen on Instagram lately, and
Ooh, tell me.
Have you seen the skeletonized Koenig?
Yes.
So is that the new thing? Everyone's just skeletonized. Oz is doing it now. Koenig's doing it. It's the cool thing to do these days.
I don't know. I think it's about whipping your dick out and how good you are at milling.
I think so too. The Koenigs look excellent. The Oz's to me, the skeletonized Oz's this drop, they look. I would rather have a non-skeletonized one. Those look like they would just create. I don't know. It wouldn't be comfortable. It'd be weird. I just don't get it.
Olamic has been doing it for a long time, and theirs look very organic.
Yeah.
But then you look at the Oz Machine Company, and it looks very architectural. And I think you kind of have to land it somewhere in between. You want it to look like Ferrari designed it, rather than looking like it's a hollow, bison bone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It shouldn't look like a set piece from Alien, and it shouldn't look like a steel girder.
Yeah.
Seth's got it. Mini 57 that's the one I would get.
Flipper or non-flipper? Probably only. I know there's flipper ones. I don't know if there's non-flippers.
I would go flipper.
Okay, well, those are going to be there. I've seen the pictures on the Instagrams. Gerber paraframe. Yeah, that's what it is.
You know who likes a skeletonized handle?
Brad Caldwell.
Leatherman.
Skeletal.
The Skeletal.
The Skeletal. What else do I got going on here?
Oh, if you definitely have $300 to burn and you don't give a shit about money or the economy or World War III or inflation or the cost of food, if you don't worry about any of those things, you need to buy a Koenig pen. They're amazing. Amazing. I would say the Koenig pen I like just as much as my who is it? Grimsmo pen, the Saga. Oh. Yep, they both get a lot of pocket time. What's a Brow blade? Brow
rock blades? I don't know. It's from Greg Bartram saying.
I'm gonna look it up because Greg knows good stuff. Let's see. Hey, well, not Greg. Jeff Loffer. I think we should do another hangout in the pit like we did last year. That was a good time. I think he means Blaurock. There's a Blaurock. Let me bring that up. I'm still stuck on my tactile turn pen. Tactile turn pens are great as well. And they're much more affordable than the Koenig pen. But you just got to like it, a Bill Koenig pen.
I get it. If he had, a mechanical pencil, I'd probably be all about it. Ooh,
CNC custom knives made in Germany. Ooh, that's swoopy.
I like that.
Look at that blade.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can go the rest of my life and not own any Kydex. Seriously, it makes me want to not buy something if it has Kydex.
Tool beads separately. Buy them separately. CNC blade.
Tom, here we go. We've got one of those CNC blades. Some interesting milling on the handle. Swoopy pocket clip. Oh, lanyard hole.
That's why it says the beads are necessary separately.
Yeah, dude. Ooh, look at the flipper tab. That's interesting.
That's pretty nice.
I kind of like that. And when it's open, what does it do open?
Oh, I see
Yeah,
what
it
you're saying.
disappears.
The tool, you need the pivot tool as well. I get it.
Did he
That's
sell the
nice. It's
pivot
not.
tool separately?
Yeah, that's what the description said.
I love when you have to buy accessories to use your thing. Shield bead. Patch bundle. Oh, Tom, it's an EDC slicer. I think we call that a knife.
D2 3D printed sheath. There you go.
That's not a sheath.
Oh, it's just an edge guard.
D2 is really good if you get the heat treat right. Oh, Tom, complete bead.
There we go. Oh,
credit where credit's due. That's kind of a sweet bead.
that's a good one. I like it. Oh, and it's a pivot tool. It's a pivot. I get it.
Oh, look, hey, look at that. I don't know.
Well, now I'm gonna have to like strap a T8 to my PM2 somehow.
I agree.
Just
My
dangle it
main
off
beef
the end.
with a bead like that is it's just going to clack against the handle and scratch the shit out of it.
Yeah, this is true.
Also, remember when we were kids, you'd buy those woven leather belts. You'd always buy one that was extra long.
Yes,
So
you can flag it.
you could get it to like a penis belt, they used to call it, and it would just hang down in your crotch. That's I feel like that guy would want lanyards. I don't want to be that guy.
Blake has a good point though. If you have a spare $300, you should buy his Vero he has for sale. And is it an Impulse or a Mini Impulse? I can't remember which one it was, but it's one of those titanium ones. That's how I sold mine, was off this show. So hit up Blake if you want to buy a Vero.
Oh, good. We're gonna party, but Casey won't be there, so no Mountain Dew and bourbon. Yeah. Also, I won't get high as shit riding in the car with him from his vape. So I've known many people in my life that vape, but I've never known anybody that during a 10-hour car ride will uncap, pull a bottle out of your pocket, and then reapply to the cotton, and then recap, and then vape. I don't know, 5 times an hour. That dude went through a bottle of vape liquid in a day. Like I worry for his body. Like, what does that do to you?
I'm
It's a lot
so
of nicotine.
glad vapes didn't exist back when I was like into hookah and stuff, like
Right?
when I was in college.
Right.
I would have been still in that.
Yep. And he went with some sort of like
Cotton candy.
warm vanilla caramel flavor or something like that. So it wasn't super bad, but man, I was getting
I
like
remember taking a
contact high.
ride. I remember taking a ride back to the house more than once with the.
Yep. So are there any 15V Spideys in sight? Military 2 especially, and I want to try Rex 121 as well. Steve, you are not lying. I want a couple of those millies because they'll be money. And then the Rex 121 is fun. It's a fun steel. It's really fun to have a knife that just doesn't ever need to be sharpened ever. But it will be of all the steels we've played with in the Spyderco world, it will be the most to potentially chip. So be careful. Do not drop a Rex 121. The Eustler Duke is my next want. A lot of dudes are out there with the Dukes and they like them.
Yeah.
I haven't handled one.
I like them.
Is it a Duke or Duck?
Duck. Because there's also the Dukeling, the Duckling, the small one.
Ah, the Duck and the Duckling. That makes sense. I got a beautiful butterscotch duck that I'll let you fondle if you're at Blade. Thanks, dude. you're into the brown
Oh, that's right.
Cortex XL, interesting.
The details on that, because I got it in my email today. I always am interested in brown stuff because he doesn't run it very long. Like his models, he's always changing or going to the XL or changing the type of lock or whatever. So I am kind of interested in that his stuff is limited in that he only makes it for a little span of time and then he's moving on to the next design. I may have deleted the email. Oh, brown Cortex XL drop. And I had a Cortex and I really liked it. It was possibly the smoothest knife I've ever owned. It was a top flipper and it was amazingly smooth, fun to flip. It was rather small, but this is the Cortex XL and it is tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's for a pre-order something. Anyway, if you want a Cortex XL, they're dropping tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to seeing Joseph and Michelle Vero. I don't know nicer people in the knife world that are cooler. Like Joseph he's the man. That guy is funny. He is super smart. When you meet him in person, he's got a charismatic. You want to hang out with him. He's a great guy. So I'm excited to see their booth. They always have an exciting booth. It's interactive. Like there's a lot of things to look at, and then there's stuff to read, and there's stuff to do. So definitely don't miss the Vero booth. It's merchandised really well. He's put
busy.
a lot of thought into it.
You got to get in there because there'll be people. There's gonna be people there. It's not an empty booth.
Hey, I heard about them knives, them Veros. You got some of them Veros? Those guys all roll up, and then they're all really shocked. They're like, hey, it's all right. You know, got a bunch of those guys, and then you got guys like us that show up going, hey, Joseph, remember when you're on our show? He's like, yeah. Vero has that Riz.
Oh, Riz. I learned that is short for charisma. I learned that from the kids.
You can pour on the Riz. You can bring the Riz. Yep. Oh, Bill Booth. I ordered a bacon.
Oh, that's right.
I went all in. I went full, and I ordered one.
Lux. That's right. That's the name of it, right? The Lux.
The Lux.
The
bacon
Lux.
Lux.
So
I think I went bacon and Zerk to really go crazy.
The other knife that Joseph, I think he showed on his Instagram like 5 knives. Said this is what I'm bringing to Blade Show, but like 2 of them were blurred out, so I don't know what those are. But he's also bringing the Nova, and this is what I thought was weird. So the Nova is the chonker, and some dealer already got 25 of them and released them as the Blade Show specials. They dropped like this week. And I don't think he was expecting them to drop before Blade Show. They were called Blade Show specials on the drop, but they're out and people seem to really like them. They have little blue like shapes like this all over it.
Yeah. Well, he's got a laser. He's got a really beautiful laser that will do color.
Yeah.
And he might be lasing those himself, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Conway doesn't like the appeal of Jack Wolf knives. Thinks they're sketchy. They don't tell you the OEM. Whenever they release a new model, the knife YouTubers blow up my feed with reviews.
I believe they're Ria, I thought. If I'm thinking of the right thing.
I can't remember anymore if I ever was told.
Let's just pretend for a second it's Ria, and I will say this. It might not be accurate, but this is possibly why. I've heard from other makers, sometimes their OEM in their contract says you cannot tell who made this knife publicly. You cannot advertise it.
So Riot does do that to many of their customers. They specifically state like Tom said, you can't tell who it is. So
and they're like, you can't answer the comment section, but you can't advertise it for them sometimes.
Yeah, the fact that he's not saying probably it tells you who it is. If it was concept, he would just tell you. I would say overall, like if you think they're cool, if you like that crash between modern and old school, then they're pretty cool. They're very well made. They're
I
nice
think
knives.
they're cool. I don't get down with old school stuff, but I actually think those are pretty cool knives. I really think those are
Yep.
kind of neat.
Yep. And if you ever meet him, you'd like him. The guy Ben is an amazing guy. Although his mullet is reaching like an absurd level, it's not a normal mullet. Like there's the ironic mullet, and then there's that bro. You're on year 3 of the ironic mullet. It's like a commitment now. That part's weird. Don't like the pull on the slip joints of the Jack Wolf. It's a hard pull. They are definitely tough. No question. Something else you guys should know about knife reviewers on YouTube. I'm going to pick on one of my favorites. Guys like Nick Shabazz try really hard to tell you when they're paid or when they got a free knife. And he never misses an opportunity to slide that little laminated thing onto the screen to tell you that the knife was loaned to him or given to him. And I think you need to consider that when you're watching these reviews. So there is one that I like to call the social media terrorist that likes to he likes to complain about one brand and praise another. But I happen to know that he's given free knives. And that changed his allegiance, and all of a sudden he's now representing this other brand. So you need to know that he's not unbiased. That's not to say he doesn't like what he's reviewing, but if you get free shit, then you're gonna not want to bite the hand that feeds you. So you're probably going to continue to do that.
It also strokes his ego a little bit, and I think he likes that aspect of it. He gets to be an influencer in that aspect.
Yes, he pretends that he's an influencer. And if he senses that he's gaining influence, then he steers into his skid and goes towards it. So he believes himself to be more important than he is. And so that fuels what he's doing. But yeah. Yeah, he's the social media terrorist. He just shows up and, creates chaos and thinks that he's clever.
He used to be a member of the group, and that was painful.
So Blake says they're cool and well made. Guys are cool. Not for me, though. I'm okay. Right. Isn't it nice that we have all these things to choose from? I'm excited when we see new knives out there. Maybe I'll buy a Bally.
I talked to the guys at Squid Industries for a minute at that Eugene knife show, and he busted out a Balisong that was literally this big. He said he spent like several $1,000s having it made. That's like a side project. And he was flipping that thing around. And for once, I was like, this is one I can get on board with. One that might actually decapitate you if you don't swing it right.
Jeff Loffer has a couple that could decapitate you.
Ooh,
although they're old slip joints.
Bokers.
Yeah. So guys, if you didn't know, Jeff Loffer has a Boker that's almost 3 feet long. And it's a grandpa folder slip joint. But it was the kind that you would put in the window of your hardware store to advertise that you sold knives. And he's had it since, well, it was made in the 1800s. So it's old school. But yeah, that thing will cut your hands off. Somebody asked earlier for food recommendations in Atlanta. I'll tell you guys for sure that Southern cuisine is excellent. There's a lot of good food down there. And if you get close to the coast, it gets even better. So the Savannah, Charleston region is famous for their Southern cuisine. There's plenty of that to be had in Atlanta. I would say that the barbecue scene is not famous the way that like the Texas or Memphis barbecue scenes are famous. Kansas City barbecue. So
barbecue we had last time.
Barbecue we had last time was not very good, but I think that was a chain.
Yeah.
I would say if you really want to do it, look for things like shrimp and grits. Look for um, anything coastal Carolina cuisine. You're going to be really happy, especially if you're not from that area. If you've never had it before, you got to try it. It's just out of this world. Um, grits is something you might have had at Cracker Barrel and hated it because it's gross. Like they do grits down there the right way, so they're delicious, and usually you want them cheesy. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of excellent food down there. There's some really good breakfast places. If you want something close, you can walk from the venue to the Battery, it's called, which is over by the baseball stadium. And over there, there's a bunch of restaurants to pick from. I would probably rather Uber because it is going to be 90 degrees and it'll be miserable. I would probably Uber over there, but the Battery has, man, I think we've eaten at 6, 7 different restaurants by now. There's an Irish pub. There's a,
Oh
what else
yeah.
is over there? There's a Yard House. There's a Punch Bowl Social. There's a burger place. There's a barbecue place. So
The Punch Bowl Social Place. I got a beef with that waitress. Still, I don't know.
what happened?
I ordered something that was on the menu, and I got laughed at and laughed at and laughed at. Like, we don't even serve that. That's not a thing. And so I left that just really kind of upset because I felt like she took advantage of. She made me sad. I wanted something really bad, and she made fun of me for even thinking I could order it on a non-game day.
Was it chicken tenders or something?
Probably something very basic.
You need a hug?
I do.
Mike Price says you can find amazing barbecue. I'm sure you can. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying that region's not famous for having a special kind of barbecue. Like if
They
you're
don't
going to
have
go
their
to,
own kind of barbecue sauce. It's not like the mayonnaise sauce or something like that in Georgia.
well, I can name 3 famous Texas barbecue places that everybody says is unbelievable, but I can't name an Atlanta place. So, and I don't live in Texas. So I would say that they're more famous in Texas for their barbecue than Atlanta is. It's not to say you can't find it, but the amazing thing about Atlanta is it's a huge city with lots of people that like to eat out. So lots of good food. There is a Chinese place in a train car that's fair to Midland. Like wherever you're from, you have Chinese food too. So I would say don't go there. You'll probably hear about it, but don't go there. It's fine. It's just not. It's not. I wouldn't go to Atlanta to eat there.
Yeah. Do you hear the hot controversy with Chipotle lately?
I'm going to defend Chipotle on that.
Okay.
Hot take.
Okay.
Have you watched some of these savage assholes go into Chipotle and go, "Can I have rice? Can I have more rice? Can I have more rice? A little more, a little more, a little more. Okay, I'd like beans. Can I have a little more, a little more, a little more?" The next thing you know, they've got 3 servings of food in one container and they can't even put a lid on it.
Mm-hmm.
They're abusing it. So what we're seeing now is a backlash against that.
The way I order a burrito, they is not excessive by any means. It's normal, but they usually have problems rolling it shut. But I will say my bowls specifically in my last few visits have been pretty weak sauce. This not the portion size necessarily, but it just doesn't taste like it used to. Like it doesn't. I used to fucking love Chipotle, but Chipotle is staring into the skid because they just released this advertisement on TikTok. They're like everyone's holding their phones up. So if you want to get good Chipotle, you're supposed to walk in and hold your phone while you order, and they're directed apparently to make sure they fill you up real good. And they even advertise it on their Chipotle account now. It's like a joke.
If they didn't charge so damn much, I wouldn't expect the bowl to be brimming. And honestly, none of us need the brimming bowl.
No, we don't.
We could
But
all
the
stand to
non-brimming
lose
bowl's
some libs,
fine.
right?
And really, but everything in there is so cheap. It's just the protein, really, that matters.
We hate it too, Christian. I'm sorry.
I almost went live earlier. I wanted to see if I could just go live direct without using StreamYard in the group, but then that didn't sound like it was going to work very well. But it is fun. I miss being able to pull this feed up and watch it in the group while I'm on Facebook. I get it. It's like a post instead of a YouTube.
Brad's a gift guy. Whenever I go to Atlanta in June, I'm reminded very painfully that I am very Irish. Word. By the way, tip for you guys, early birders, I got a tip for you. Pack an extra shirt in your backpack. And it's sometime before 9 o'clock. Go to the hotel, go to the bathroom, change your shirt, come back. Or wait until the line moves inside and then you're in the air conditioning, then change your shirt. Actually, it's better. Wait till you're inside, change your shirt, come back.
There you go.
You'll thank me later because you'll be sweaty as shit from standing out in the 90% humidity. And even if it's not hot, you're still going to be sweaty from the humidity. So bring a change of shirt.
If you're one of those fellows that rolls deep with the Gold Bond, bring a little Gold Bond for it. I'm just saying.
Right. I know some of you dudes are sweatshirt people. Some of you are
what?
Long pants people. I would tell you to not do that in Atlanta. Go ahead and wear those cargo jeans or cargo jeans. Wear those cargo shorts that your wife doesn't like. Just it'll be right. You're gonna be around a bunch of goatee white guys. Nobody's gonna judge you for having cargo shorts.
No, everyone's gonna be judging the guy who has a cargo kilt on, not the cargo shorts. It's okay.
Right. Don't be the kilt guy. But Blake, it's fair. It's just equity. Everyone wins. $20 an hour. Tom, you need to try Hank's root beer. I like it more than Henry Weinhard.
Okay. If I see it, I will get it. Henry Weinhard's, though, I haven't been drinking soda really for the last couple of months, but I did go to the store. So I used to go to Kroger's. They had Henry Weinhard's, and then it disappeared off the shelves, and they stopped selling it. And now the grocery store I do go to about a month ago, like it disappeared off the shelves there. The space is gone. It's filled in with other bullshit. And I went to my last spot that had it today, and every single bottle on the whole bottom row with Henry Weinhard's different flavors was gone. So they better be sold out, not discontinuing it. I'll be very upset.
You been fishing lately, Tom?
No. I will again when my friend from childhood comes back into town from California. That was when I went fishing last year. And I guess he'll probably pull my ass out to go fishing again this year when he comes back up. I got my rod. I'm all ready to go. I'm a worm dude.
Yeah, you do.
I'm a worm dude. Worm and a hook and a weight. That's all I need to go fishing.
Frank's here. What's up, Frank? Frank, Frank, are you coming to Blade Show? People at work know I'm a root beer guy, and every birthday I get a whole bunch of mugs, barks, and A&W. It's like when people know you like knives, they give you crap knives. Yeah, those are for floats. Those are for floats. Stony River Steakhouse. Well, Frank won't be there. Sorry, buddy.
Well, maybe the viewers have some recommendations for me on food as well, because on Monday I'm going to Vegas, and we have this much plan on what we're going to do other than we're going to Las Vegas and we don't drink. So pretty wide open agenda, and I need some food. We were already talking about food. Me and Kim are plotting it out, but we don't know what's cool or what we got to try there. They have everything.
Yeah.
We'll probably end up
does the hotel offer any sort of daycare?
That's a good question. I don't know if I'd trust it, but I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. I would trust a major Las Vegas hotel daycare. They've got it figured out. Like those guys and cruise ships, they know what they're doing.
They probably do. So the Venetian is where I'm staying. Is
right.
the largest hotel in the United States, which is crazy to me. And so I have a feeling we're going to stay there a lot because I don't want to be walking around with a 5-year-old and 3-year-old on the strip. But I just don't know what to do there at all. But yeah, if they had a way to take those kids and make them not attached to me for a minute, I had not thought of that as an option other than bring in grandparents with us.
Check the Venetian website and see if they offer like in-room sitter. They might, right? So then you guys could leave for 3 hours and go to dinner.
Yeah.
And the kids just kind of go to bed, right? And the sitter stays with them.
Yeah, there's lots of good food.
You guys could go somewhere really nice and have a nice meal.
I like the sound of that. Kim's trying to figure out getting massages, and that's been like the stumbling block is how are we going to do that at the same time? We can't do it at the same time. It have to be take turns.
Take turns, tag team.
Yep.
Mike Bryce has to be at a stupid wedding. He can't be a Blade Show.
What do you got? That Lumia? Was that what you were carrying earlier? Or just have it around? There you go.
Tom and I were scale twins for a time. We would each try the same scale.
Yep.
You know, man, what's the term everybody uses for this type of
raindrop Damascus or gold Damascus or
no, the effect of the shimmer.
What do you mean?
See how it shimmers as I move it?
Yeah.
There's a term for that everybody's using right now. It's like haloing, but it's not haloing.
Oh.
Yeah, it's hard to beat that stuff. That raindrop Damascus with a 3D contour is just awesome.
Yeah, I actually I have the and a PM2 as well, and these are the 3D class. Are yours 3D classic?
Yeah.
I like how simple these Yarmouth scales. I like the feel of these better than the Raptor, his newest style. I think I sold all but one of. I had a ton of PM2 Raptor scales, and I sold all of them but one.
Yeah, you were the maniac for the Raptors. You loved the Raptors.
It's just because I was ordering stuff, and I was like, order them all, every material. I'll get them all. I'll sell the ones I don't like.
The 3D classics are great.
Yeah, Raptors are just a little bit too aggressive looking. I think on the PM2, it's just too much. But yeah, these are money.
Carbone in Vegas is ridiculous if you like Italian. My favorite restaurant there when we go a lot. Hard to get reservations there, though.
Carbone.
I'm going to go get the papers. We called him Frankie 2 times because he said everything twice. Got any more Aramis for sale? I do not, sir.
Nah, at the moment. If I did, it'd probably be these, but they'd be like $190 because this material is super expensive. And this one has no voids in it, which is rare.
Blake definitely knows Vegas. He's there a lot.
Okay.
The other one you might check with is Ortiz.
Who?
Chris Ortiz.
Oh, okay.
You know, Tom, at 20 minutes, I didn't think we'd make it an hour. And now here we are on the cusp.
We're pretty good at just stretching the shit out. Honestly.
I agree. We talked some smack tonight. Really talked some shit. I'm worried about the repercussions of that now that we're all over YouTube. I just want you guys to know what you're watching. That's more like I'm not trying to shit on these other people and what they do, but you know, people that get paid to do what they do and don't tell you, I think is unethical. People who I don't know. They let the fame get to their heads. There's a lot of those. What else? The clickbaity part. Talking about things we don't care about or creating drama where there isn't any. Like Nick Shabazz is guilty of that too. Like I love Nick. Love you, Nick. But, you know, I don't know. That Slizbo, the recent Slizbo release was an example of that. Like
I get it. You can't have.
They all sold out. Everybody wanted one. It turns out people still wanted it despite us getting mad about it for no reason.
I mean, I get it too, though. It's like you can't have all your reviews just be like all positive, everything's great. You got to find something to nitpick to make it seem like you're digging into it.
Food talk always helps. Yeah, we can stretch a show just talking about cheeseburgers.
Went to Killer Burger today. Had a bacon peanut butter pickle burger. I ate about a third of it, but it was pretty tasty. The peanut butter sauce all over a burger. It took me and Kim like an hour to figure out more than that because I actually drove to a restaurant that was closed and then drove back home, and then we spent another half hour figuring it out. Took a long time to settle on that. I have no idea how we settled on something that I knew was going to make me feel like shit.
I was taking a nap this afternoon because my daughter and I went to the pool and I had a big margarita and we came home and I was hot and I was tired and needed a nap. So I was taking a nap and she came in and I'm laying there on the bed and she kind of sneaks in and she jumps right in my face, real close. She goes, I want Thai for dinner. And
Thai?
I said, Thai food? Okay. What does mommy say? She goes, mommy's sleeping. I'm like, done. So you guys are all married. As many of you are married. You understand this one. Hey, honey, what do you want for dinner? I don't know. I don't know. And it turns into a fight. Well, this time.
Anything. Well, except for that. Except for your 5 suggestions.
And the first thing I suggest will be, she'll go, what do you want? And the first thing you suggest will be no. So always, never suggest the thing you want first.
You got to beat them down to realize they have no options.
I'm undefeated in that one. I will always suggest something that I don't want first. And then it's no. Okay, great. This time I just ordered it, and she only likes 2 dishes ever from Thai. So I ordered the one I knew she would want, and didn't even tell her till I was going to get it.
Nice.
So came home, ate like savages, just like Simpsons, just eating it. It was good. Got to sit outside. The weather's nice.
There's a place that we almost went for a burger. And then I'm glad I looked up the menu before we went there. So this place used to be owned by a guy named Micah Camden. It's called Little Big Burger. It serves sliders. Like they say they're a quarter pound of meat, but they're on slider buns. And I used to think it was kind of expensive, but I don't eat a lot. So that's okay. I just need a small burger. They were $12 to $13 today when I checked the fucking menu without fries. And fries are $4. So I guess that restaurant's off my list of places I can go now. Can't justify that. My restaurant selection has been increasingly smaller over the years, but now the things are like $12 is like my limit mentally I can spend on a lunch for the whole thing.
That's pretty hard. You can hardly do that at Taco Bell.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Yep. Well, kids, I think we wrapped it up here. Tom's a tightwad, except Chipotle.
Chipotle is cheaper than Little Big Burger. So
it sounds like Carbone's is a winner. You should try to get some reservations there.
Okay.
Everybody's mad about their wives. The secret is, guess where we're going to eat? The first place they say as you go. How did you guess? Oh my God. She thinks that she got it. That's right. That's how you do it. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll catch up with you next week, I think.
Yeah.
Next week? Yeah.
Yeah, because yes. And then followed by Blade Show.
We might see seconds first of the club knife before we see the club knife. I don't know.
That's my biggest fear.
Right. I think they're just making seconds right now. Okay, everybody. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.